Alright, we're back. Hopefully we'll be able to see if the FPS comes back. It's still a little iffy on my side. I'll probably play around with settings here and there, but I don't know what's going on, and I apologize for that.
While that's going on, we see that Nunu is doing a full clear here of his jungle, so he's gonna go back, spend his gold, and look to roam and take some of Monkey Block's camp, but Monkey Block is looking for a bot side gank right here.
Yeah, he got his boots early. His Predator is off cooldown, so he's trying to find his first gank, and that's the one thing that's really scary, is that when Olaf gets boots, it can be pretty devastating.
He just spotted on that ward there, but not on that mid ward. So I think Dantaflex will know where he is.
Maybe, let's see. Alright, let's see if that fixes it. Let's see if shadows were the problem. We'll find out in a bit. It seems at least a little better, but nah, it's still choppier than usual, which is very strange, because usually it's not choppy. But in the meantime, we're gonna have a gank down bot side, but it's a Nunu. He just takes a Braum Q to the face and walks out. That's really all a Nunu can do. And so he's just gonna go back and just start farming again. But his main thing, I feel like, as a Nunu, what you want to do is just be there for when Olaf is gonna gank. You want to make sure that his ganks are as least impactful as possible.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Nunu can't really start a gank. His CC is just a snowball. But if the Olaf starts walking up and then Nunu's able to be there, that can definitely turn the fight pretty easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cause just the amount of CC that he has, even that's slow, is only a little bit, but the main thing is going to be that attack speed reduction that he does apply with his snowball.
Right.
That enough is usually able to turn a fight. But if you gank somebody, really actually anybody on his team, Blood Boil is going to be effective. Gnar loves attack speed. Tristana, of course, loves attack speed. And Azir loves attack speed and ability power. So it is actually going to be pretty impactful when he comes in.
Yeah. Dantaflex picked a nice composition with a lot of synergy here. And that's why I think I prefer it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they also have the ability to scale better in the late game, so I think right now that this Nunu will give them a big advantage.
Can I get a pre-game dump in chat?
What? Oh. Okay.
Alright, yeah, well, someone just joined our Discord randomly. I didn't even see who that was.
Yeah, it's because we had 3 people.
Yeah, I'm reducing that now. That startled me. I will admit that, but
yes.
The one thing looking in the mid lane that I did notice is after quite a bit of a trade that happened that went heavily in Usebread's favor, the back that he was able to get is going to be very impactful. He got that tier. He was able to get the Null Magic Mantle as well, and actually upgrading it into the Negatron Cloak. So it's going to be now really tough for Cross to do really anything against him.
And that a Negatron Cloak will be built into Abyssal Mask most likely. It'll be very good in lane, and it'll give him the mana he needs to spam abilities.
But Get here actually taking quite a bit of damage, just short on the Hyper there. Any bit of damage, I think, would have been able to finalize that kill. And because he was going into Mega Gnar, he wasn't going to go ahead and try to go even farther because he would have been melee form soon. So really like the aggression coming out from Elevator Dunk, as he was almost able to take out Baguette there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Elevator Dunk, Baguette does have TP, so he's actually not. He's actually gonna walk to lane here, so he's gonna miss that wave. I would have thought he would TP.
Yeah, he's holding on to that for something, and I will like to see of what. Maybe they're planning some sort of cross-map dive, as here comes the Teleports coming in. There's going to be 3 of them coming at once, as this is right now a 3v3, but it is going to go in favor of NAT, as they are definitely the healthiest members. A nice Emperor's Divide is only going to do so much there, as he is going to be able to flash over that wall. Elevator Dunk is now the low one and the one who's going to be taken down, as Rise does pick up the kill onto the Azir. 2 for 0 already going in favor of NANT as they're going to keep going. Can they pick up any more kills? A double kill goes over to the Ezreal, and Weaver's going to be the next on the block as that is going to be a clean ace coming out of NANT in only 8.5 minutes.
That's a massive fight for them. They had really good team fighting on that one. The double TP coming in to secure an advantage at the beginning, and had really good fights just overall. That's Mountain Drake as well, so that'll provide them a big advantage when trying to take other objectives and snowballing this lead. Now it's a 2.3k gold lead now, so this is some.
Yeah, the entire team comp coming at it for Down to Flex was to get early objectives with the Nunu, with really anybody that he could buff up as well, and they got caught out and they got chunked down. Nunu was really low at that start of that fight because he was trying to solo the dragon, and then by the time everybody came in, there was teleports galore coming in. It was NANT who was able to get there faster because of that double teleport. And because of that, it went into their favor.
Yeah, NANT had that all planned out. They had an instant reaction pretty much to that dragon take, and it was really good to see that long baguette did save his TP for the correct purpose.
Yeah, both him and the Rise used bread, saving on those teleports, missing a few waves, like you said. I think it was just 1 or 2 waves, but it definitely went in their favor, as they might have lost maybe 100 gold from the minions, but they got quite a bit through 5 for 0 ace in 8 minutes. Now at this point, what can Down to Flex do to try to come back in this game? Are they just going to try to play safe mode and just farm until their carries are online?
Yeah, I think that's honestly the best option here, because you don't really have too much ganking pressure with the Nunu, and since NANT's composition for now is going to be stronger, you might as well just wait and wait until other objectives are up. You don't really have to fight for anything currently.
Yeah, Getting My Soup right now is going for that solo on the Rift Herald, and I'm pretty sure at this point NANT have no idea that this is happening right now. So
yeah,
he's being a little stealthier than he was when he was going for the dragon, and it's going to pay off. Shelly already down to about 1100. That's going to be an easy consumer in Smite when it's available to him. So nice play here by Getting My Soup to pick up that Rift Herald.
I believe he went over the wall with the Blastkin, so that's how he was never spotted at all.
Engage coming down bot lane as we just saw Reaver get deleted there. Full health to like 10% in a matter of a second. It was an easy cleanup there for a little loaf as he gets his 3rd of the game. He's 3-0-3 already.
And let's see if they can pressure this turret down. I don't think they'll be able to get it, but they're going to do a lot of damage in the meantime. While the Rift Herald's being summoned in the top lane, let's see if Longback he should be able to clear this away, but there's a lot of pressure coming out here.
Yeah,
they might be looking for a dive.
Yeah, they're going for the tower, though. That's going to be their main thing. But no, they're going to go on long baguette right now. The damage is coming through. They're locked down. The Absolute Zeros popped a little bit earlier, but it would have done too much more damage. Nice knockback, stopping the engage there. And this delay is allowing his team to get the first tower down bot. Now, Rise is coming in. Can he provide enough assistance? Elevator Duck is no longer in Mega Gnar. He's going to be chunked down. Here comes Usebread. Can he find the damage? His top laner is going to drop first. First kill of the game, going over to Down to Flex, but can Usebread turn it around? Elevator Dunk already got out of there, and that's going to be just a Realm Warp that didn't go in their favor. Almost turned it around, but a nice job by D2F to pick up their kill.
Yeah, and even though Longbaguette did fall there, he did stall for a lot of time in order to get that bot tower before Down to Flex could get the top tower. So that is going to be a small advantage in terms of the global gold for NANT. So that is still a good play, even though he did die.
Yeah, it was just a nice stall there, allowing for them to get that first tower bonus, which basically just canceled out his death there. And we saw that with the pressure down bot. Even though Tristana does have a little bit of a CS lead on this Ezreal, that kill lead's going to be massive, as we see him just chunking already with his ultimate there on the Lulu, easily half-healthing her. as Lil Loaf just by himself is going to be able to protect this tower.
Yeah, Lil Loaf has also got the local gold down bot, so he's going to be a very strong Ezreal. I'm loading in right now, so I can't really see anything.
Oh, I didn't realize it. Did you?
It was lagging for me.
Okay.
It was lagging. So, yeah.
Something going on with the spectator client like usual. Nothing's ever
Nothing's ever fixed.
For the longest time, when Gnar was mega, his portrait was completely black. Then they fixed it.
Really?
Then like a year later, it got broken again. There's a lot of times or a lot of things that just go wrong with it.
Yeah, I think here that that NANT is going to look for a lane swap up top. You see that Maokai is actually no, they're going to go back bot. I was going to think that they wanted to go for that top tower, but the Drake is going to be up soon, so they might want to contest for that. It is the second mountain of the game.
Yeah, I think they're prioritizing trying to stop Down to Flex's Dragon takes here, because usually you would do that lane swap to try to get another quick tower up top side, but they are actually instead going to defend this with the two of them, and yeah, this is going to make the Dragon take a little bit harder. Get In My Soup is no longer going to be able to try to sneak it, as we saw what happened roughly 6 minutes ago.
Now, NANT have control of the Dragon Pit. They're not going to start it just yet. Actually, Monkey Ball hitting it a few times, taking aggro, but going back onto it. Let's see if Down to Flex is going to be able to stop it.
Yeah, teleports
does not seem like they want
are
to.
up, and it looks like, yeah, NANT is just going to be able to get this. They realize how far behind they are. This Ezreal has 2 items right now. He's the Masamune as well as the Iceborne Gauntlet.
Tristana has not even completed her IE.
Yeah, so they're going to smartly back off of that one.
Yeah, now with these 2 Mountain Drakes, NANT can really take control of major objectives. Even though Down to Flux does have that Baron comp, because you have 2 Mountain Drakes, you basically do it just as fast now. And they're going to go for this mid turret. Only Nunu is here. They might be able to take it down before others arrive.
Yeah,
they're coming in from the
down
backside
pretty quickly. But this might be a fight that Down to Flex wants to try to start. They are 5 strong while Maokai isn't there. He does have the teleport, but that amount of time might be just enough for Down to Flex to pick somebody off. But it looks like they're NANT here is not going to get themselves caught out. They're going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, now they're fanning out throughout the map, just trying to clear a little bit of vision, and Tristan's going to end up going back bot lane, picking up some farm. So this is going to be a slower game than what we saw on Sunday, where there are just kills back and forth all the time. I do like, now it seems like Down to Flex is going for this bot turret as well, and Maokai should not be able to protect this.
No, by himself, he definitely isn't going to be able to. He's not even going to have the hero play that we saw last time. He was able to stall for so long. Mid lane, though, we're going to see that Emperor's Divide come in right before the ultimate coming out from Moneybuck. So timed it a little off there. Because of that, he's not going to really be able to use that ultimate too effectively. And it looks like he's just going to top and try to counter jungle instead. So a little bit of a trade there of ultimates there. But if that was timed better, I feel like the Olaf could have did some damage there.
Yeah, he could have just ran right through the wall. And now, down to Flex, nice rotations going straight to the mid lane, while NANT are struggling to take down the top lane turret, and Ezreal's still there, so they can't exactly fight right now. So nice rotations from Down to Flex, giving them a 3-1 tower lead. And now it's only an 800 gold. Actually, since Ezreal takes that tower, it's more like 1k. But it was 2k about like 10 minutes ago, right?
Roughly, yeah. So about 9-10 minutes ago, it was a 2k goal lead. So Down to Flex slowly coming back into this game, especially with their tower takes. They're actually up on towers, which is kind of surprising since they were the team that got ace. They're the team that are 2 Mountain Drakes behind, and yet they're still able to pick these up. And that's just the beauty of their team comp. So with all outer towers gone, they might have a little bit of a harder time getting the inner towers, but we'll have to see of what they're able to do now. What's on the map for them?
Yeah, I think at this point they don't really have the ability to push towards outer turrets. They don't have any vision in NANT's quadrants of the jungle, so they might want to wait for that Baron, which is coming up in a minute and a half, and see if they can get some pressure down then. But right now they just want to farm and see if they can catch back up.
Yeah, they've been doing a nice job of defending this mid lane, but they realize that without their ADC, without their top laner, they're not going to be able to defend it for much longer, so they're going to go ahead and let it fall. Elevator Dunk might get caught out with his Realm Warp, as it is going to bring the entire team up here. The slows are going to land. Elevator Dunk's not looking too well here, as the tower dive is going to come in. The ultimate from Gnar is not going to be enough, as In Color picks up his second of the game. And nice Realm Warp picking up a kill there for NANT. And we'll see what else they're able to get off the map.
Yeah, that was some great team play from Usebred, getting that ultimate down and being able to just catch him out where he did not expect anyone to be there, seen as they had just taken that mid lane turret.
Yeah, nice rotations there, getting themselves the kill, and now giving themselves quite a big gold lead as Moneybuck here going to take a little bit of damage, nothing too substantial here. But like we said, it was a 2k gold lead, then it was a 1k gold lead. Now it's a 3k gold lead after all what's happened, and it seems like NANT doesn't want to stop. They want to put as much damage down on this tier 2 as they can, but Gnar is on his way. We'll have to see if there's going to be any sort of retaliation coming out right here from down to Flex, but they're already poked down pretty low.
Yeah. And Usebred is already going down to the bot lane in order to push that, and he does have TP, as does Long Baguette, so they're likely going to go to both side lanes, yeah. And TP if Down to Flex tries to start a fight in this mid lane right here. You see that they're still holding 4 in the mid lane, while Tristan is actually clearing some Baron vision. It's gonna go top and farm. Yeah, I think this is going to end in a Baron dance with this kind of vision around the Baron.
Yeah, in only 20 minutes, I don't feel like really any of these teams can go for it just yet. Even though Down to Flex does have the team comp for it, they are massively behind, and it's going to be really rough for them, and they're not going to be able to win a fight if it happens at Baron.
Right.
I feel like at this point, Down to Flex, they have to just make sure that they keep vision on it, as well as NANT, because NANT, being the team that's ahead, can go for it if they would like, but NANT still has to make sure, because even though they're massively ahead, Down to Flex will take that extremely fast. Yeah,
that's what you always have to be worried about. You don't want to give away a free Baron to Down to Flex. That could happen. It looks like Long Baguette here might get caught out. Elevator Dunk coming in on the backside.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage coming in. The ultimate's going to hit on Tristana there, just barely. Realm Warp's going to come through as a little bit of support, but it was only the rise coming through. The slow coming in will be enough to start this. Elevator Dunk wants to try to find that Gnar ultimate, but not going to be able to, and he's just going to have to try to walk away to the rest of his team. And it seems like it's just going to be a pure disengage coming out from both sides here. And let's see, NANT, they were able to push Down to Flex off. What are they going to try to do? It seems like they're just going to try to reestablish that vision that they had earlier. Yeah,
they're going to try and push up this top lane.
Are they going to go for it?
Get some more vision around this Baron, and they might actually... Oh, they're going to start it, actually. It's very risky at 22 minutes, but they do have 2 Mountain Drakes, so Tristana is not here yet. Dragonback will not be able to contribute in the fight so far, but they're going to back off.
Yeah, they did take it down to half health pretty quickly, but they realized that once Down to Flex sniffed that one out, that they're not going to be able to continue on it. So, very smart move here. They don't have to go for anything risky. They just have to make sure that they are keeping an eye for it. But because of that little bit of a Baron dance, it is giving Down to Flex this option of going down and taking the Dragon, and they'll take it pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty quick Ocean Drake for Down to Flex. No steal for Lil Loaf here. Nunu consumes Smite, a little too strong for that. But yeah, once NANT had to back off because they did not take the Baron, Down to Flex knew it was their chance to go and take something off the map as well. So that was a nice play from them.
Yeah, definitely, and that's one of those things of trying to sneak a Baron, trying to get that very quickly, where it can go against you. And NANT, they could have just walked down to the Dragon and taken it themselves. They pushed down to Flex off, but they allowed them to get poked out from both the Baron as well as anybody from down to Flex who was able to do damage. And then once Tristana was able to come back into the fight, they were no longer able to contest the Dragon.
Mm-hmm. And we see now N-Color try to establish more vision around the Baron pit. Using that great vision over the Baron pit. So they'll spot anyone that comes near.
So we haven't looked at items for a while, but it seems like it is starting to close in. Dragon back, gonna go in. He's gonna be the one to start the engage. The knockback's gonna come in on an In-Color. Does he have to stand behind me already? He uses his ultimate, but that's gonna be a kill going over to the Tristana. Nice pickoff coming out from down to Flex to give themselves a little bit of an advantage here to come back in this game.
Yeah, it was a nice Emperor's Divide in order to push him back and into the rest of the team so he couldn't get out. And that does mean that NANT are down a member for 15 seconds, but it doesn't look like anything can really come of it. Just 300 gold for the team, and down to Flex will just back off and reset.
Yeah, so that's just, like you said, a little bit of gold, getting that gold lead lower and lower, and also just delaying time. As the game goes on, gold leads really mean less and less once champions start getting closer and closer to full builds. So this is all they need to do. If they just stall long enough, I believe they do have the better team comp here as we get to the late game. Now they're still behind. Yeah, they're still behind, so they still have to play carefully, but they will have a better off time if this goes to 40 minutes. I feel like this will go into down to Flex favor.
Yeah, and with the Azira hitting his like 2-item power spike with Leandries and the Nashers, down to Flex are in a pretty good spot. The Tristana as well at 2.5 items with that last Whisper. But Lil Loaf's Ezreal is still very strong at 3 items. So they do need to be careful, but that Azir will be very, very strong soon.
Yeah.
The problem right now is that they need to keep vision around the Baron pit. There is that one little sneaky ward inside that hopefully NANT will sniff out soon.
Yeah, the pink is not seeing it, so... Or is it? Actually, it might be spotting it now. Not too sure. We'll have to go back and look at it.
Because it's not disabled, right? So
it's not disabled. Yeah, you're right. So it's not seeing it.
It's just right. It's like completely across from in the Baron pit, so it's just barely not enough.
Yeah, so they start the Baron. They're good. This is completely spotted. So that pink ward put in by NANT just in a wrong spot. So down to Flex, they know this has happened. Teleport's coming through, and NANT is going to have to stop it. They're actually taking it down pretty low. It's at around 2k, but the fight's going to start as we're going to see the Olaf come in. He's unstoppable, but he's going to be so low. He might be taken down. Get him. My Soup is now the next target, as everybody is starting to get pretty low on both of the front lines here. And with that Q landed, that would have been Getting My Soup being chunked down there. But it looks like the fight is going to turn around here. The Olaf is not able to re-engage just yet. He had to heal up. Elevator Duck trying to find the engage. Does he have the flash? No. We'll have to see. Dragonback comes in, and he's going to be able to get himself the kill. Does he have the resets to keep going? Going to play it smart, but that is a kill going over to down to Flex, and they now have Baron priority.
Yeah, they could definitely go for Baron here. It is a possibility with members of NANT low, and you have that, of course, you have that super powerful Baron taking composition. Let's see if they're going to go for it, but for now they're content to just push them out of the jungle. Realm will use, but not. No one goes through.
But that is 5 members now on the Baron. We'll have to see if Lil Loaf is able to chunk them up. Use Bread's here as well. But there goes the fight as Use Bread's going to go in. Can he find the damage? That's actually going to be the Olaf taking down the Nunu. Jungler down, and this looks like it's going so in favor for NANT as this Ezreal is on fire, getting himself 2 kills already. Elevator Dunk going to drop as well, giving himself a 3rd kill. Triple kill for Little Loaf here, as now NANT now has the Baron priority, and with 4 members dead, they're going to get this. Oh, the heal being popped there as Baron almost takes it. Nice little cheeky play there by Reaver, but it's not going to be enough to stop this Baron. This is going to go over for NANT.
Yeah, that was a really good play from Cross at the beginning, getting that Shroom Shuffle onto use bread, but Lil Loaf so powerful at that 3 items power spike just came in and cleaned up after the rest of Down to Flax had used all their abilities. So really nice job from him. He's now at 6 kills, super strong. And he's gonna get a BF sword here with his back.
Yeah, this Ezreal, he is 1 item away, or 2 items, sorry. For some reason I thought the BF sword was a full item. But yeah, he's 1.5 items away from being full build already, while most players at this point are only having 2, maybe 3 completed items. So it's pretty crazy to see how much gold this Ezreal has. And this Ryze right now, he's getting strong as well. And NANT do want to contest this Infernal Drake. They don't want to give it up to Down to Flex, who do realize that they are not going to be able to fight this, and they do back off.
They're still hovering around, just in case, if they can push NANT off, though. Some nice dragon dancing over here. Back and forth. Neither team really wants to give up this Infernal. In the late stages of the game, the extra 8% is so powerful.
At the very least, what this is doing is just delaying the Baron buff, and I think
looks like they're
NANT
gonna go
did
mid
realize this. So they are going to trade this Infernal for this priority down mid lane. So yes, we're going to see Down to Flex pick this up, but this is a sure tower going in favor of NANT. And we'll have to see if they're able to get anything off of it, because they have a pretty good minion wave here.
Now they might just go get the inhibitor here, so really nice play from NANT.
But here comes the fight. The Absolute Zero going to come in to disrupt everybody, but the knockup coming in from the Braum, and we see Elevator Dunk just get chonked out. The Gnar, no chance of getting Mega there, as he's going to fall very early in the fight. And here comes Ryze coming in the backside, but he's alone right now as his top laner does drop. Dragonback doing quite a bit of work here as he picks up 2 kills, and that's a 2-for-1 in favor of Down to Flex, actually. The inhibitor does drop, and we do see NANT still wanting this as DTF is pretty low, but Dragonback is doing quite a bit, and here comes the ultimate coming in from Kakros. Doesn't really do too much as he knocks them away, but Dragonback gets himself another kill. Can he get going? He got a double kill earlier. Can he clean this fight up? The flash forward, just not enough.
Oh
He gets a little low with 1 more auto. There it is. Gets the shutdown. 1 more auto will do it. There it is, a triple kill. Going over to Dragonback, a double into a triple. It's a full house for him as he gets the ace.
Yeah, was that a delayed penta? That was a delayed penta, right?
Yeah, it was delayed because he got he got all 5 kills, just not in time.
In time, unlucky, but yeah, NANT staying a little too long there. They really wanted the inhibitor to get that map pressure, but when you had two drop and they didn't back off fast enough. So nice play from Down to Flex in order to clean that up and turn this game around. Now it's only a 2k gold lead. Dragons are even.
Oh, this Olaf, though,
might get caught off
although
here.
he's unstoppable, he's taken down very low. Here comes the ultimate as Elevator Dunk picks up that one, and that's going to be an easy 2 kills going in favor of D2F, as they're going to get themselves another tower as well. Dragonback right now, we've been talking about this Ezreal, we've been talking about the Ryze, but this Tristana is online, 8-2-2.
Yeah, he hasn't even backed yet. Yeah, he's doing so much damage. So he has 4,000 unspent gold, but he's still going. Gonna get that tower down and finally back off. And when he comes back, he's going to be one of the strongest members on the Rift. This is going to be very powerful.
Now this game has got interesting. Gold lead practically the same, but we do see Dragons are a little bit off kilter. We have Infernal and Ocean going on the side of D2F, while NANT does have that Mountain. And they have that open inhibitor as well. So we'll have to see where in these team fights that Infernal is going to mean a lot. But if NANT is able to get themselves some opportunities to get some structure damage in, maybe after an ace, maybe after a 1-team fight, or just great rotations, they're going to take those structures very fast.
Yeah, if they rotate like they did right after or I guess right before the Dragon take, that'll be really good for them. They managed to get a free inhib tower, basically, just by out-rotating Down to Flex. But now they overstayed and going to have to pay the price for it, as Elder Drake's coming up in 2 minutes, so that's going to be the next, I believe that's going to be the next objective that we'll see on the map. Unless, is Baron sooner?
I think when was Dragon was thinking after Baron? It might be relatively the same time, but we do see the Baron coming up right now, so Baron is going to come up first. But I believe they are going to be pretty close to one another. But it looks like neither team does want to wait. They might just start a fight here as down to Flex. They're starting their siege going. They have quite a good siege comp. Elevator dunk so close to Mega, but he's going to be chucked down. Already down to half health. The Ignite's going to stop a lot of that healing for when he goes Mega. The shields galore going to keep the rest of the team safe as they do get the tower and do get out.
Yeah. They get the tower. That's all they came for. Now they can reset and come back for more afterwards. It's going to be 1 minute on that Baron, 1 minute 45 on that Elder Drake. There's a lot to fight for on the map right now, and that's probably going to lead into maybe even a game-ending fight here.
Yeah, it's going to turn into, like you said, a game-ending fight, or just a fight that's going to completely turn the tides for one of these teams. Or they just might trade objectives. We've seen it before where one team will say, hey, you take Baron, we'll take Infern, or we'll take Elder. Now, what they'll decide to do is going to be interesting, because I don't know which at this point will be better for your team.
Yeah, it's tough to say, especially with the different Baron and Elder buffs. You never really know because they've changed it so much. Some people haven't played as much on the new patches, so it's kind of hard to judge which one's better. I personally think if you fight at Elder, it's better because then you can fight Baron. And they do have 2 Drakes, but it does depend on the situation a lot, so.
Yeah, but just from the vision game, we are seeing NANT getting quite a good one. Elevator Dunk going to go flash forward. Doesn't get any stuns. Not going to be able to get a good engage there as the teleport come in. Maokai's now on the back side as Elevator Dunk is completely separated from his team. But in color, tries to go in the back, but it's not going to do anything. The Braum fairly squishy is going to drop. And Elevator Dunk in this entire time was able to get out of that. The damage is just not coming through for NANT. And now D2F realizes they can come in. They're going to go for these kills. As we see Dragonback going to jump forward, he gets 1 kill as Kakross picks up another one on the Azir. Use bread. You're all by yourself at this point. You do have a little bread, but that's not going to be enough. There's another kill going over. That's 4 now in favor for D2F, and they still want more. Dragonback, does he want it? The Essence Flux 4 not going to be enough as Dragonback picks up the ace for his team.
Yeah, great play there from Down to Flex. That was an amazing team fight. They even though Elevator Dunk couldn't get anything on in the initial fight, they backed off perfectly. In color went a little bit too far in and got chunked out immediately. And then Kakross and Dragonback and the rest of Down to Flex just went and ran them down. They couldn't get out because of the ways that Down to Flex has to catch up. So really nicely played. That will be Baron, and they're gonna go for Elder now. Right after that, I think.
Yeah, I think a little bit of mixed focus there coming out from NANT as well. They had Elevator Dunk completely cut off for the rest of his team, and I would actually like to see them just completely collapse on him, get that kill, and then have the 5v4 advantage. They try to fight a war on 2 fronts, as I believe we saw both In Color and Moneybug try to go in the backside of D2F, and they were just going for the complete ace. They wanted to win the entire team fight instead of just getting the kill that was basically gifted to them. And it cost them.
Yeah, an Elevator Dunk surviving at the end because of that, because of Weaver's ultimate, which allowed him to just walk on out. Yeah, targets were not on point there for NANT, but they do have a chance in this game. They just have to wait out the storm here. Down to Flex with two of the best buffs in the game, obviously.
Yeah, this is one hell of a storm that they had to try to wait out.
Yeah.
It's going to be very tough for them to defend and only losing maybe 1 inhibitor, as we're already seeing.
Yeah, I think 1 inhib is best case scenario here, to be honest.
Yeah, look how fast they take it, and this inhib's not going to be long for this world either. They can't fight for quite a bit of time now. That Dragon Buff's not even halfway done, and once this next minion wave comes down, they either have to pull the trigger or just lose another inhibitor.
Yeah, now Down to Flex is going to bring that bot wave over in order to push down this bot lane inhibitor. And I'm not sure. It's a huge wave, and I'm not sure that NANT can do anything about this. There's 3 cannon minions here that's going to be breaking down their base. They might have to try and start an engage, but that would be unwise with the Elder Dragon buff.
Yeah, as you see that tower just get completely destroyed. And this is a team without the Mountain Drakes as well. They're just completely destroying the base of NANT as they really use this buff effectively.
Yeah, and they still have so much, or they still have a lot of time, almost half of Baron left, I believe, on their timers. Oh wait, no, sorry. Third left on their timers. So they do have the chance to go try and get 3 inhibitors, and which is basically a really guaranteed win at that point with 3 inhibitors down.
Yeah, I think there is.
And outscale the comp.
I'll have to try to find it, but I believe there is some sort of like stat where it was like roughly 99% of games, if you get through all 3 inhibitors, it is basically one for you. Now, of course, that is inflated for where you're completely stomping a team and you take 3 inhibitors easily, but at the same time, it's such a devastating spot to be in, of just having 6 super minions coming at you at once is just really tough to do anything about.
Right. Especially when you don't have the best wave player.
Never mind, as you say that, Monkey Buck is going to go in on this Olaf, trying to get a kill there, but he just gets chunked down, and Dragonback is easily going to clean him out. And now we see this Maokai completely away from his team. Double kill going over to the Tristana as they smell blood here. They want the win. They're going to go for it. Can they go for the last bit of kills here? Will Dragonback pick up the Penta? He has the triple. They're going to keep going. Will they give it to him? That is a quad going over to Dragonback. Will he get it? The Resurrect gives his team enough time to get in there. That's a pentakill going over to Dragonback, and the first game win going over to down to Flex as they come back from being down about 3K gold lead and just dismantled NANT at the end here.
Yeah, great late game team fighting there from down to Flex. Really sealed the deal there. I was honestly more impressed that that Dragonback didn't get his Penta stolen from him than
once I saw the Resurrect come through, I was like, that gives time to steal. But now he's going to be able to pick it up. He was massive in that game.
It was absolutely massive. He had basically 2 Pentas. He had the delayed Penta and the real Penta. So, yeah. Even though laning phase was was a bit rough, getting killed a few times, but once you get those 2-3 items, man, just absolutely stomping everyone.
Yeah, I think the one thing to keep in mind is how impactful he actually was. He was a part of 20 of the 21 kills in that game. Almost perfect on his kill participation, above 95%. So it is actually, as I say that, Get In My Soup was perfect. He was 21 for 21. I can't deny that. That's pretty impressive, as Weaver's also at 20. So this was a really big team win for D2F.
Yeah. I really do think that as a team of 5, they really just roamed around the map properly. What impressed me a lot was during that mid game, even though they were losing at one point, they had a play where they basically got like 2 towers for an NANT's 1 just by moving around the map faster. And I really saw that. I was like, wow, that's really good plays. So.
Yeah, so we're going to, it looks like, get right into the second game pretty quickly. It looks like all the teams are in here. I think we're just waiting for them to invite you, which is taking them a while for some odd reason.
Yeah.
Do any of them have you added? Actually, I'll just add you.
They should have me added, but I guess I did restart, so I don't know. Maybe I don't show up or something. The worst for me because my Spectre client's been lagging during team fights. Luckily, I'm not the one casting it, so it's not that bad. If I was play-by-play and that was happening, I would just
Let me guess what's happening.
Yeah, I think one team's winning, but
you come back and you were just completely wrong.
Yeah, honestly though.
All right, it looks like these teams are going to switch sides as well, so let me fix that.
And what I think NANT needs to do for this next game is sort of deny that that late game scaling that Down to Flex had. They had the Nunu, the Azir, and the Tristana, super powerful picks, or not like super powerful, but very good late game scaling picks. And when if you see those picks, you want to pick more early game oriented champions. Like Makai isn't really what you want if you're trying to get an early game lead, um, as well as Rise. So I feel like if you start seeing those late game picks, you might want to change up your game plan or your draft.
Yeah, I feel like the draft is going to get pretty interesting. Like, they're going to have to get rid of something. Is it going to be the Nunu? Is it going to be the Azir? I don't think they could really target Dragonback anymore. They heavily targeted him in the last game.
Yeah, he got 3 bans last game.
Yeah, but
so
there was 4 EC bans total, and 3 were directed at Dragonback. So it's one of these things.
I feel
It's
like
like,
his year ban. Oh, sorry. You can.
yeah, I
Go.
would say I do agree with the Azir ban we might see here. It's one of those things where it's like you're not afraid of the Nunu, you're just afraid of what Nunu can buff, and just Azir is one of the best targets for that. So there's still a lot of other good targets for Nunu to buff. We'll have to see if they just want to get rid of that or just get rid of who he works well with.
Yeah, I feel like Nunu isn't too big of a problem if you don't give him the insane synergy that he had last game. So see what happens though. We're about to get into the draft. I'm excited. Hopefully we get a game 3.
Yeah, this is a very close series. I know the people in chat want to see a game 3. They want to see NANT take it all the way. And we saw it. It was very close. It was heavily in favor for NANT for the majority of that game. But just down to Flex. Once they found their items, once they found their stride in that game, there was no stopping them.
Yeah, I was thinking that NANT would be able to snowball a huge lead after that ace in the dragon pit, but Down to Flex did a great job of stalling it out and trading objectives, especially even though they got aced at one point, they were still ahead in towers. So they did a really good job at stalling out, and I think that's just a good show of why they're the number 3 seed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess they have the same record, so.
They had the harder schedule.
They did have a harder schedule, so.
It is shown right now of why they were tied, though. Why they even tied in their head-to-head.
Right. It was very close. Yeah.
But we are seeing very similar bans. Now, the Tristana ban, to me, is very interesting. Like we said, I don't know if you could ban out Dragonback. Now, they were just very afraid of the carry potential that he had on that Tristana. But there's still a Karma,
Right.
there's still a Twitch, there's still a lot of other ADCs that could do this. And they left the combo, yet they are picking second. So I feel like they have to take a Nunu, they have to take it or an Azir in their rotations here. But the Nunu's just going to be picked up right away.
Yeah, but I know that Usebread is able to pick the Azir, so they can pick that away from Kakros, and that has to be what they do, right? Like otherwise, you're letting them get the same combinations they did last game, without like, I mean, sure, the Galio's good, and they're gonna pick it up. So I think Kakros is just gonna go with the same pick as last game.
I don't see why you wouldn't. Yeah, you might be afraid that they have planned against this, but you just saw how well it worked out in the last game.
Right.
You were able to come back from a 5-minute or an 8.5-minute ace. Now Galio, very strong mid laner. I love the presence he has with his semi-global ultimate. He's able to get into team fights extremely fast and protect his laners. Now, the Caitlyn being picked up here, that was a champion that was banned in the last game. I guess did they switch in Kha'Zix or Morgana for that ban?
I think Caitlyn was. Oh, I think Lil Loaf was picking like further down the list. So I think Caitlyn was actually banned second rotation. I think those are the same 3 bans.
I thought it was first rotation, but I could be wrong. Because let's see.
I don't really remember. Caitlyn was definitely
No,
banned.
because they picked Ezreal pretty early, so there's no point of banning Caitlyn second rotation.
Yeah, okay. But the Caitlyn is going to be a very strong laner in the bot lane, puts down probably the most pressure out of all 80 carries right now during the early game. And again, another hyper carry for Dragon Battle. He picks up the Jinx, which again synergizes amazingly with the Nunu. So that's going to be another big worry. You have to be worried for NANT. On the other hand, NANT has gotten the Jarvan Galio combo, which is very powerful. So they'll be looking to use that combo with the Cataclysm and Hero's Entrance to really shut down the Flux down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of support bans coming through in total. Actually, 4 total support bans here. Now, obviously bearing anything like a Zera support or Scion support, but the Lulu's still getting through, and I do like that they took that away from Reaver. He played really well on the Lulu last time, and that's just making the combo of Jinx and Lulu, Azir Lulu, just with those new buffs on top of everything, really strong. But we'll have to see if what they pick up this time around. There's still a lot of other picks that they could go with, and top lane's still open, and it is going to be a Janna going through. That's one who I haven't seen in a while. It was basically an auto pick for quite a bit of the season, and really I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, it used to be an auto pick back in Season 7 with the Ardent Sensor, but now that Sensor has been nerfed, you haven't really seen her too much. We do see the Maokai picked up from for Elevator Dunk, so a little bit more of a tanky composition than last time. Focusing again on those 2 hyper carries, though. Basically, probably the same game plan as before. I do like the Caitlyn Lulu lane. I think Caitlyn Lulu is super impressive. Just that all from levels 1 through 6, just so hard to deal with. So I think that'll be again the pressure point for NANT to exploit.
Yeah, we'll just see. Top lane is just going to be a tank fest. There's not a lot of kill pressure, but there's a lot of ganking potential up there for the Jarvan. Nautilus is one of the best at locking down people, but so is the Maokai. And it'll be a very interesting game. Now, with the 3-minute delay coming up soon, we are going to take a little bit of a break just so we could get some water if we need to or what else have you. But we'll be coming back in about 3 minutes for this Game 2 between Down to Flex and NANT. NANT, they're fighting for their tournament lives at this point, as the winner of this will move on to the semifinals and the Penn State Invitational. We'll see you guys back in a few minutes.
Yep, see ya. Should I mute her?
All right, we are now back for game 2 for Down to Flex between NANT. We saw Down to Flex come back in game 1 after NAT got a very early head start, but we'll have to see if they're able to do the same thing. They have a very similar team comp that they had last time, but will they be able to do the same? We'll find out. My name is Rudy. I'm joined here by Rain, and I'm excited for this game too. What about you?
I'm really excited
That was a pause.
to see how...
We probably shouldn't have gone live. We shouldn't have done this.
Oh no. Oh no. This happens every time. Oh wait, I think it'll be quicker than last time.
It
We said R
might
already.
be.
Said R already. It has to happen quicker. But yeah, I was about to say that NANT Down to Flex have basically the same team composition as they did last time. Swapped out Maokai for an R basically. But on the other side, NANT has a very different team comp, looking for those team fights with the Jarvan Galio combo. So we'll see how they manage to adapt. They might have seen the strats from Down to Flex and tried to draft around that, knowing that they would pick the same thing. So we'll see if they can pull a sort of counter to Down to Flex's strategy.
Yeah, I'm not sure of how different this game's going to be. The Jinx does have a lot of hyper carry potential now. It is going to be a lot harder for Dragonback to get as quickly as the kills as he got, just because he doesn't have the resets on the jumps, but he does have the resets with the get excited for the Jinx. And yeah, it's going to be tough. Now, he is going to have to put himself in a lot more vulnerable positions than he did last time. He's not going to have that rocket jump to get out. And if they do find themselves with a very early 2K gold lead again, it might be different.
I think the most important thing for NANT in this game is how Monkey Buck moves around the jungle and where he looks to gank. Because last game, I feel like he didn't have too much impact on the lanes. He threw a few axes, went around, but overall ended up falling off and getting my soup. Outscaled him basically. On this Jarvan though, he does have a lot of potential for great ganks, and his laners all have CC. So I'm excited to see if he is able to find a lot more jungle pressure than he did last game.
Yeah, we saw a lot of times, especially when we got later and later in the game, of times where he was able to run into the backline and then just die very quickly, didn't get a lot of the auto attacks off, and yeah. He did have a hard time finding a couple of ganks, and that's because Down to Flex played extremely safe for the majority of that game, and he wasn't able to gank early like you want on an Olaf.
Yeah, so I'm also looking at this bot lane. Caitlyn Lulu should be able to push in Jinx Janna very early in, and they should be able to gain a CS lead eventually, just by virtue of their champions.
Yeah, so Caitlyn's main game plan here is just to poke out the Jinx, make it as hard as possible for her to farm. As we're kind of seeing in the mid lane, as Galio does have quite a bit of a rough time in the early stages, especially against anybody ranged.
Look in here. If Kakross steps up anymore.
Yeah, there might be a gank in there, but because of how directed camera works, we were kind of told that nothing was going to happen there, as it figured that bot lane was more important during all this.
Yeah. Stupid directed camera. It's okay though. Nothing did happen.
It's good 95% of the time.
Yeah. Nothing did happen because Kakross was able to dodge the EQ, but I guess the directed camera knew all along, to be honest.
Directed camera knows best.
And Nunu here looking for a counter gank, perhaps. Just sitting there under his tower.
Yeah, I think that's most likely. I think he's realizing that Moneybuck's going to try to help out use bread as much as he can with these constant ganks, just to try to get that farm lead relatively back to even. Because, yeah, this Galio is having a little bit of a rough time here, but that's kind of expected.
Yeah, Galio's mana costs have been nerfed. They've been increased, so he's having a tougher time clearing those waves. and he's gonna be low on mana and be forced to back. I think CS should actually equalize eventually because Use Bread does have that TP and Cross has a combat summoner instead. But yeah, but Cross did good. He backed on a cannon wave, you know, so he's not gonna lose too much.
Yeah, he might not even have to teleport back into this. He might be perfectly fine with just walking there and saving that for a gank down the line. And this is one thing, like you said, with that he has that summoner and teleport, more of a utility summoner, is he doesn't really care about trying to kill the Azir in the mid game. He is mostly just focused with farming and turning around a lot of these fights that might not be in their team's favor.
And now getting my soup, looking in the jungle, walking around a bit. Doesn't really have a jungle to clear since he cleared his regular jungle so quickly. So
yeah, that's sometimes the hardest part about Nunu. Sometimes is the waiting game of not being able to get your own jungle. Maybe you're not able to counter jungle either, especially early on. So right now he's just holding off, go ahead and back, and actually surprisingly go back to the bot side, even though it's his top camp that's mostly open.
Well, Dragonback and Weaver are pushed in right now, so also gank onto Cross, forces out his flash. Nice job by him. Monkey Buck might be in the wrong place. I think what Gen My Soup was maybe trying to do is because Weaver and Dragonback were so far pushed up, he was thinking maybe there's going to be a gank here. But he's going to be losing a lot of time here as actually starts with the Dragon.
Yeah, he hasn't been CSing for a while, but they are going to go for that Dragon play instead. This is the one good thing about junglers now, that they can just solo Dragon. Now, that pop is going to get them caught out, so it's going to be known that they're going for the Dragon here, but they don't have the rotations. They're not going to be able to go on this. It's actually Use Bread that might get caught out here. Moneyback is now here, but this is not going to look good. This is a 5v4. The ultimate's going to come through as Kakross brings it to the rest of his team, but at least the rest of NANT are here to back them up, so no kills are going to go through. Just a couple of summoner spells blown, but the Dragon did go down at the DDTF.
Yeah, you're crossed with a nice Emperor's Divide again, but not enough damage to finish them off. But again, My Soup makes a nice play and gets the consume on to the Dragon. Now he has jungle to clear when he comes back.
So the long con did work out, getting himself that Dragon, getting himself those summoner spells. This is kind of surprising seeing the Jinx actually pushing out the Caitlyn. I thought it would have been the other way around.
Yeah, it should definitely be the other way around. I think maybe some mistrading around Janus Shield, perhaps. Dragonback is also up in CS, actually, about a wave. So you would want to see, when you pick that Caitlyn, you would want to see the Caitlyn be pushing in. If that Caitlyn was, for example, pushed in during that Dragon take is impossible because be safe at any point. So yeah, because Dragonback gets the advantage in lane, gets the push on, I think that's another reason why Getting My Soup was able to take that drag.
Yeah, just the pressure is like, we knew he was going to have pressure in the mid lane. Azir is going to be able to push out the Galio. It's just how a range versus melee matchup has. But because he had the unexpected Jinx pushing against the Caitlyn, he was able to get that Dragon very safely, even when they were spotted out by Use Bread.
And now he even actually took out Monkey Buck's blue buff, so that's going to be nice counter jungling efforts from Getting My Soup. Takes the Grop as well. So very nice. Already gets level 6. Or actually, wait, he's a little late. So never mind.
Yeah,
already gets level 6.
Yeah, it's usually at a bare minimum you want to get 6 as you're taking your first buff for the second time.
Right.
Luckily for Moneybuck, he didn't need that buff in order to get 6. He already was that after taking his red, so it's not going to be too devastating. Jarvan's not the most mana-hungry champion, so he will be pretty all right without it. But we're going to see a gank down the bot side. Doesn't get the knockup, but he does get the Cataclysm down under Reaver, and that's going to be first blood going over to Use Bread. But now Dragonback trying to turn it around as Elevator Dunk's now here. This is a 4v3, but it might go in favor of D2F as we see the rest of the teammates coming through. Now it's a straight up 5v4, but it's going in favor of D2F as Dragonback gets his first kill there with a nice ultimate there. And can they keep going? It looks like they want to. Can they find that last little bit of damage? Doesn't look like it, so it's just going to be a straight up 1v1. But it looks like they're going to have tower pressure here.
And NT is very low. They might have to back off, but nice clear over the minions will force them away. So it looks like the tower will stand for now. Everyone's sitting back and trying to... Actually, Down to Flex might be looking for more here. Staying here, this could be an overstay. But...
It could be, but the only one who's really coming back full health is going to be the Lulu. So they're just going to push it, and forcing NANT here to stay for a little bit longer than they wanted to is going to give Cross quite a bit of advantage here in the mid lane. He's going to be able to push that to tower, but Use Bread, instead of backing, just going to go right back to the mid lane.
Yeah, and one thing that was unfortunate with that blue buff take from Getting My Soup is that normally Galio wants that blue buff, right? He wants to be able to spam those Winds of War. But now Azir's should be able to eventually pick up his own blue buff, while Use Bread will not have his. But yeah, on that bot take, the Galio ult came in a little bit early, I think. It was used before the Cataclysm, so... But they got the kill, but the TPs just came in a little bit sooner for Elevator Dunk, and it was a nice play.
Yeah, that could be right. We do see that one of the greatest combinations of this game is any sort of lockdown in Galio ult. Usually with Cataclysm, we saw it yesterday with the Camille ultimate as well. So they didn't get that perfect, but it was still just enough that they were able to bring the Galio down in order to win or get that first kill really quickly. Now, of course, it was against a Jan, a very squishy member of the team, but good reaction though from Down to Flex in order to pick up a second kill.
Yeah, now that means that Down to Flex will have a 1k gold lead by 11 minutes. I think it's mostly in the CS department because yeah, I think every member of the team except for the mid lane has a small lead, which amounts to that gold lead. So small lead for now, but could be expanded upon later, depending on what happens in the next few minutes. Monkeybuck's looking for something.
Yeah, but Dragonback just pressuring this bot side. It's the War of Shields and how that works out, but in the bot, we're going to see top side actually. Nice use of the Blast Cone to get out of the Cataclysm, and that's going to be a lot of resources blown in the top side.
Yeah, it's 2 ultimates for a red plant. So, yeah. Nice play to get out from Getting My Soup.
Yeah, one thing that is surprising to look at is this CS difference between a Nunu and a Jarvan. I know Nunu is able to farm pretty quickly, but Jarvan's supposed to be able to farm fairly quickly as well.
Yeah. I think it's just a result of Jarvan looking for ganks a lot more often, because he's trying to get his team ahead, but he hasn't been really able to do that so far. So he has unfortunately also a little low here, a little bit of damage.
Actually, we're going to see a giant fight. Nice dodge there, but actually in color is going to be knocked back. The ultimate coming in. The knockup's not going to come through, and this looks like it's going to be a second Ocean Drake going over now to D2F. That's going to be very easy as Dragonback picks up the kill as well.
Yeah, nice play there. Really just collapsed on in color. He got cut out. Wasn't able to survive, and that's going to be the second Ocean Drake of the game, which means even though Ocean Drake probably might be the worst Drake at this point, I think I'd take Cloud Drake over it. That will allow Down to Flex to sustain constantly, and because they took the Drake so early, and they're still in the landing phase.
Combo going on like a cross here. The damage not there because he doesn't have any teammates. It's actually a huge collapse coming out of D2F, but here comes Moneybug. Can he find the damage? Flash backwards. Cross is going to get out of that. All summoners blown there, but that was started off by a nice flash taunt coming out from Use Bread. But while this happened, bot side tower did drop.
Yeah, nice combo from Usebread. Didn't have quite enough damage in order to kill Kakross with that combo, but it was good effort. Did blow both of Kakross' summoners. But now they're going to be pushing on this mid turret, and again, really nice rotations from down to Flex. They get that bot turret. Elevator Dunk roams down, as does Weaver from the bot side, and they get that mid turret as well. So, and now Dragonback again going to that top side. Now going to push that in as well. So, I think right now, down to Flex really just are out rotating NANT. They're not. NANT isn't just isn't able to react fast enough.
Yeah. And that's what's really good about these Ocean Drakes that they picked up. Like you said, yeah, it's sometimes the worst Drake. I feel like it's very situational. When they have chances here, they have really good reload potential where they can have a fight where, yeah, they both teams chuck each other down pretty low, but all Down to Flex has to do is just wait a little bit, get their health back up, and they're going to be able to siege. And we just saw that in the mid lane. They were able to use that banner command as well to pick up that mid lane tower. And we might see more towers fall like that if it's going to stay in the same boat that we've been seeing.
Yeah, Ocean Drake is really good in siege compositions or pro compositions. And especially in the early game when you have that ability to just lane, and also Bong Baguette misses the hook there.
But
he's going a little far.
Yeah, that missed hook is going to be devastating there as the Maokai is going to come in, but the Galio not going to do enough to protect his top laner, and the rest of the team here from D2F is here going to knock back and knock up this Galio, who is just going to drop 4-1 now in kills for Down to Flex.
Yeah, Long Baguette looking for an engage, really wanted it, didn't have his ult at the... he could have ulted first, I think. But he wanted the hook, he wanted the style points, but he just misses and gets punished for it.
He wanted either the hook or a clean miss. He got neither as he was able to hit the wall and just put himself in a really, really rough spot, and it's going to cost him not only his life, his mid laner's life, as well as 2 towers at this point. And Shelly doesn't stop. She just keeps going. And that's going to be a lot of damage being taken.
Yeah. That's going to be a 6.7k gold lead.
We're going to start another fight here.
Nice hook. Absolute
as Monkey Buck's already really low, gets knocked back, so the combo doesn't go through. But Get In My Soup is really low, but he's still very tanky. Kakross doesn't get locked down as Elevator Dunk really tanky on this Maokai, flashing forward under tower as Dragonback is just on fire right now. 4-0-1, 4-0-2, still's going to keep going. The Cataclysm doesn't go through as Get In My Soup finishes that kill, but that is now 7 straight kills going in favor to Down to Flex, and that's going to be an inhibitor in 17 minutes.
That's actually insane. The amount of snowballing going on here. They take one turret, then they take the next, and then they get another nice dive in order to take the inhib turret and the inhibitor at 17 minutes. This is going to be a very tough game for NANT to bring back. And on the way out, they even grab another tower. That's 6 towers to 0, 9k gold lead at 17 minutes. This is actually disastrous.
Yeah, this is looking really bad.
If you notice in the 80k roll, Jinx has a 3k gold lead over Caitlyn already, which is actually insane. She's gonna be a full item ahead at this point.
The closest team right now, or the closest lane at this point, is top lane at 1300. That alone is a pretty good goal lead right there. And this goal lead just gonna extend. Once it gets to double digits, that's when it's at the point where it's extremely tough to get back from. You're just about there at this point. 9k in 18 minutes is not something you want to be seeing.
Yeah, especially at 18 minutes. Like the game's still early, and NANT haven't been able to trade any objectives, so they're really starved for gold right now. So they're going to be really behind. We'll see if they can stall. The problem is, even if they stall the game out, they're still at a disadvantage in terms of team composition. So they'll have a really tough time. Dragonback already just taking down this bot tower at the speed of light.
Yeah, that was just chunked down so fast, and they're not stopping. Dragonback just going as far forward as he can. He has the means to do so. He has the Blood Boil. He has the Janus Shield. Just so many buffs that he's able to do. And I wonder, does this just go back to Champ Select? They left up the Azir. They left up the Nunu. And they didn't counterpick that Azir when the Nunu was already picked out. Now, this is a pretty good catch there. A lot of squishy members that Cross is forced to jump out. And now Elevator Duck is all by himself. The Absolute Zero only doing so much of the Galio ult is not going to do anything. Cross comes back in the fight and is able to get another kill there. Dragonback getting the second there. Can he find the snipe? He does find it as the red buff finishes the kill off. And in color, although doesn't get separated by the Emperor's Divide, does drop here, and now it's all in little low. He's not going to be able to do it. Dragonback wants the kills. Get himself that quadra kill. This is going to be an extremely fast game. We can't even see a surrender vote out of NANT unless all 5 members agree, and this is going to be down to Flex, punching their ticket to the Penn State Invitational and the semifinals. What a game.
Yeah, I was insane. The way that Down to Flex was able to play that, getting one advantage after the other, and then leading to a free 20-minute win. Just a really well-played game by them. Yeah.
Oh, actually, it looks like the time stopped at 20 minutes exactly.
Oh, I see.
Depending on, I think, because for some reason when the Nexus explodes, there's like another 4-second runoff that they do.
Yeah.
Before the game's actually decided. But okay, the game doesn't. Okay, so it says 9:56 or 1956 in the game lobby. So that is going to be a very, very fast game going over to down to Flex. What happened? Where was the turning point that went to put this to a fairly close game to just out of control?
I feel like it's actually just the same problem that they had last game. The way that Down to Flex were able to rotate and get the 3 outer turrets was just really well done. They went bot to mid to top, and then once they got those dives top lane, they just kept going, and the NANT weren't able to fight back. They're just too far behind. So I think even though the kill feed share it's like 2 to 12, I think it's much more indicative that Down to Flex had better rotations in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you. They definitely had better rotations this game. They just opened up the map, and ever since, like, they didn't need a siege this time. They
yeah.
just won straight up on their kill pressure, and really, once they fell behind, that Galio was very, like, it was basically just delivering another kill to your enemy team.
Yeah. They were just able to take everything, basically. Ooh.
But, wow.
We're going to get an interview, or...
I'll just see if anybody is interested in coming in.
Yeah.
If you find anybody, let me know. Oh, God. Yeah, there's the damage graphs for all of you guys. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and hide the bottom one with this. Someone posted this in chat, and I thought it was pretty fitting. That was devastating, and 70% of the people who voted in that poll earlier were disappointed.
I voted in that poll as well. It did not go too well.
But yeah,
that's really funny. Yeah, I think NANT thought they could beat the Nunu Azir with the comp. They thought that they had the advantage, but they didn't play around their strengths too well. They only used Jarvan Galio once or twice, and they weren't able to make those gangs play around. So yeah.
Dang. Dragonback doing more damage than the top 3 members on the side of NANT. Dragonback just did a massive amount of work in both those games. This second game, he was just able to go off. And the one that did kind of open up this match, we did say in the beginning that this was going to be a Caitlyn versus Jinx in favor of the Caitlyn, just because that's how the lane should go. But Jinx was able to get pressure on that bot side, which allowed Nunu to basically get that one Drake for free. And because they entered the fight even, that's what Jinx wants. She wants to be even with the enemy AD carry or above, because then she's just unstoppable at that point.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that NANT wasn't able to get the pressure that they wanted. But I think this is a really good series for Dragonback. It just showed how like versatile he is on his carries. He got banned out a lot. He got banned out a lot both games and was able to pick up a carry. I think at this point other teams were having to look at other teams are having to look at Dragonback as a threat, but you can't ban him out. You have to play around him in game, somehow get more pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised at how much damage she did take on the Jinx, but I guess that's where the lifesteal comes in handy.
Yeah.
Janna, was she the only... I think she died and... Oh, Dragonback. So it was just the bot lane that died in that last game, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, just very extremely well played there by Down to Flex.
Yeah.
They had... I feel like it's one of those
Super
things
clean.
that ever since 8.5 minutes out of game 1, they played the games relatively clean.
Yeah.
First game still had a little bit of mishaps, but they were also behind at that point and crawling from a deficit that they put themselves in
Right.
very early in that game. But they were still able to come back from it and win pretty decisively.
Yeah, their team fighting as well is looking really good. In their games, they're able to. Well, I suppose with this composition, it's a little bit easier when you have like the two tanks and the hyper carries in the back. You just play front to back, but still, they're playing really well. Just getting that, I guess simple something simple something good. So, yeah.
Yeah. Try to see how. Okay, so I was seeing how the invitational scene is going to go. From what I can see from Kakross, it's going to happen that each Penn State team will face another school's team, which I remember we did that 2 years ago as well, just by chance. We did it completely random, but it worked out. I feel like that's definitely the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's definitely the coolest way.
It's the coolest way to do it, which we had the dilemma of, like, do we try to fix the bracket so it was like that? Do we just do it random? So we just decided, let's just do it fair, just do it random. And it turned out that it just happened that way, and I highly recommend it. Now, so the quarters are seeded by LCS standings. So I'm guessing, because you only have a few days left, that the playoffs are not going to end before the Invitational to determine seeding that way.
What's gonna happen afterwards?
Gonna happen afterwards? Okay.
I mean, that's my guess, unless they want to play.
Hey, if I was down to flex, I would say, yeah, let's play those games, just because what do they have to lose?
Yeah.
They're last seeded right now anyway, going into playoffs. Which, wait, they're last seeded? I thought there were 3. No, wait, yeah, I thought Pokey was 4. I think they got that mixed up.
Yeah, you're right. Down to Flex is 3, Pokey is 4. Yeah. Did all the higher seed teams win? Is that what happened?
I believe so. Yeah. WSND was second, and Penn State was first, and then so all higher seeds did win here.
This is definitely not March Madness, I guess.
So yeah,
It's probably we do a best of 3, so it does make a little more sense. So.
I'll just see if I don't know if the other games were 2-0s or not. I know the 2 that we spectated were, but sadly we didn't see the other ones. But yeah, I'm really excited for the invitation this weekend. It's going to be really good games. I guess while we had the people in chat, now this is just curiosity of me saying, do we know which outside schools are coming in yet?
Is it still Rutgers and... I thought Rutgers was coming.
We do a lot of things with Rutgers, I believe, so I'd be very shocked if they're not coming. But pretty sure I heard them that they were coming.
Rutgers, okay. Drexel, okay.
Penn College, nice. We've actually been doing things with Drexel since the first year of the club. I don't know how that interaction happened, but Drexel's been coming to our tournaments for like 6 years now.
That's nice. All right. Well.
All right.
I'm gonna get off now, I guess.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna end that here. I believe that's gonna be our last stream until the Invitational. So I will see you guys there. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I
But
will also see you guys there.
yeah. So thanks for everybody for joining us. It was a really fun stream. Thanks, Rain, for joining me. Great job as
problem.
always. And
Thanks.
we will see you guys this weekend on the Penn State Esports channel, or if you're nearby, just come by live. I believe it's in like the new complex that was just created, not too far off campus. So I'm really excited for it.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys then. See you later.
See ya.